Hello, everybody. I appreciate you attending today. We're going to be talking about whether or not adding estate planning to your uh, product and service portfolio is a good idea for 2025. And I hope you come to the conclusion that it will be a good idea. And by the end of this video, and you can let us know what you want to do. So, so first thing I want to do, I know you probably got a Facebook ad or an invitation by email from us to attend this meeting. So I'd just like to ask you a question. Uh, why are you here? What was it that attracted you to this particular workshop webinar? So, and we're going to talk about those things here in a minute, uh, but when you saw my offer, I just wondered what did you think, or did you want to know more? I hope so. Do you want to know more about adding estate planning to your product and service portfolio? And if you made the decision to move forward by adding estate planning, and you may already be an estate planning expert, um, and maybe not, but if you made a decision to move forward, would you want a coach who will teach you how to sell estate planning to your existing clients and those who have not done business with you in the past? Because that's what I do. I make a point to let everybody know I only teach what I know and I only teach what I do. So I'm a estate planning coach who actually performs the estate planning process for clients, and it's very easy for me to knock out 20 to 30, 40, $50,000 a month in commissions. If you follow my process, you can do it too. So that's my mission here. So if you want an experienced coach who will help you make your first sale in estate planning, I'll even help you find the next sale. I'll help you build your tempo, and I'll help you build momentum, because that's what I like to do. It's kind of fun. So, so if you are looking for that, well, you're in the right place at the right time. And I think this workshop is going to answer your questions on whether you want a good trainer and a good coach to get you set up into the estate planning industry. So anyway, so what? My name's Randall Baxter. I'm the president of Asset Positioning Services. I'm the provider of the Family Estate Doc software. I'm the author of a book called Approach, Plan, Succeed, and another ebook that's called Family Tree Asset Positioning, the go-to first interview. And I mean it. It's an interview that once you learn it, it's easy to learn. And it works almost every time. And I'm also the creator of something I call the Cycle of Success, which is a zero-cost marketing system. So you can do this without spending much money on it, but you can also spend a little money and make it happen faster if you want to. But I'll teach you how to do it at no cost or low cost if that's what you want to learn, especially if you have people who have already done business with you in the past. But even if you do not have people who have done business with you in the past, either way, it's going to work. So anyway, we're going to talk about family estate planning. And there's just a little quote here that I like to do. A legacy is not what is left tomorrow when you're gone. It's what you give, create, impact, and contribute today while you are here that then happens to live on. And I was talking to one of my licensees yesterday afternoon at dinner in Crossville, Tennessee. And the idea that I really wanted to push was that I teach people how to use a process. We're not product pushers. The products appear. The products that you and the person you're working with will design the right product, but you have to have a process that engages you in that conversation. And that's what I want to be sure that you understand, and that my process is easy to learn. So, so just to ask a question, or maybe to answer the question, why you would want to add family estate planning to your product and services portfolio. And here's why. I don't know how old some of y'all are, but if you wanted to, you could replace those four people with John and Ringo and Paul and George on a famous album cover. I've got that album at the house. But anyway, it's all about the family. And something else you need to be aware of, according to a recent survey, um, the American people, now listen to me because this is serious. I need you to absorb this. The American people are increasingly view estate planning as a core element of holistic wealth management and not just a one-time task. Estate planning services, once considered an optional value add, are swiftly becoming table stakes for insurance agents, financial advisors, tax planners, real estate agents, attorneys, and wealth managers. And here's why. The reason it's not a one-time task is all the time people are going through relationship changes, they're going through asset changes, and they're going through health changes. And every time those folks go through one of those, they're not going to call their stockbroker or their insurance agent or their real estate agent or their tax plan. They're going to call the person that set up their estate plan. That's what happens to me. Do it my way, it'll happen to you. So, you know, estate planning services once considered, an optional value add, and are swiftly becoming table stakes. And I found this to be true on the front end. Now, I'm going to be talking to you about different concepts today. It's going to be the front end, the back end, and future sales. And the establishment of the estate plan, the funding of that plan, and all future sales and decisions to be made in the future, you will make those decisions with your client the next 10, 15, 20 years. That's what I've been doing. And the American people who need estate planning expect estate planning to be integrated into their advisors' offerings, either directly or through collaboration. More than half view estate planning as a non-negotiable service. And I'll tell you right now that I know 3 stockbrokers in the month of November that lost $250,000 each to my process. And if you want to learn how, I'll teach you how. But anyway, if you're dealing in middle class or upper middle class, wealthy Americans, they're starting to believe that it's imperative to discuss estate planning issues with the family. Family-focused concerns were only of middling importance to most respondents, providing for loved ones' financial security and reducing family conflict. Those rank 3rd and 4th out of 5 in terms of importance to plan respectively. Protecting assets from probate and minimizing estate taxes top the list. Now, where in there did you hear me mention a product? It's a process. And folks, if I can just get you to quit being product pushers and become a process person, the products will fall in line, and the correct product will identify itself with you and your client in conversations, and they won't even shop it. They'll just say, you're right, that's what we need to do. So, there's some dissonance here, though, as the relatively lackluster performance of softer concerns in terms of importance to a plan. It's not borne out in respondents' answers about their top priorities about leaving a legacy. But most of the people I work with, and again, I don't mind telling you, I run a school. I've got about 170 licensees across the United States right now, and some of them are knocking it out of the park. But when they talk to their clients, one of the primary concerns is that they want to ensure that their family upholds their personal values, not the values of the kids, the values of the parents or the grandparents. And it was well ahead of structuring my finances to preserve long-term wealth. Okay, so people are in the accumulation phase of life sometimes. They're out there taking a risk with their money, but they reach a point where they're no longer in the accumulation phase. They are in the preservation phase, and that's when they're about to retire or they're getting a little bit older, and then after that becomes the distribution phase. So, you need to be aware that there are those three economic phases in anybody's economic life. And additionally, and perhaps most informatively, people want to make sure that their family upholds their personal values. There's also the consensus most difficult aspect to plan, according to 45% of respondents. And again, comfortably beating out structuring my finances to preserve long-term wealth. And so avoidance may play a role in the importance rankings. We talk about avoidance. People don't know who to talk to when they do their estate plan. But I tell you what they will do. They'll answer your question, or they'll respond to your statement if you say, I think you would benefit from a conversation with me about your current estate plan. And folks, it's not the one you want to sell them. They're not interested in you making money. They're interested in the benefit of having that conversation with you. And if you learn how to do that, and I have an easy process to do that, if you learn how to do it, people will say, yes, I think I might benefit from that conversation. Estate planning services, once considered an optional value add, again, I'm repeating this, but it's important, are swiftly becoming required offerings for all people in the financial services industry and wealth managers. Folks, if you're sitting on the beach and you see a big wave out there in the ocean about 10 miles away and it looks like it's huge and it's heading right for you, that's what estate planning is getting ready to do. And all I can encourage you to do is be knowledgeable, be aware, understand how to do it, ride the wave. So soon the American people will expect estate planning to be integrated into their advisors' offerings, either directly or through collaboration. More than half view estate planning as a non-negotiable service. When they sit down with you, they expect you to understand it. And even your state license requires you to understand it if you're in the insurance business or in the stock brokerage business. So what are the advantages of doing an estate plan for your clients and prospects? This is what I want to teach you to use as a process to guide you to the higher commission products that are available in the financial industry. First of all, you're going to protect their assets from probate court. Everybody wants that. Then you're going to minimize their estate taxes. And then the awareness in the family issues and concerns becomes your concern, and they are aware that you have led them to those issues when they don't know how to talk about it to their spouse. So they're also providing for loved ones. I had 4 or 5 conversations with agents yesterday, and a lot of them talked about mongoloid children or children with bipolar problems, or even one child that had been bitten by a tick and had Lyme disease and hadn't gotten out of bed for about 6 years. And if you find those things and people realize that you can show them how to protect those children, your value to them is going to go up. So you're helping them provide for their loved ones. You're reducing family conflict in most cases. You're leaving a legacy. You're preserving long-term wealth. And you're finally getting around to it, and you're reducing taxes. Okay. So this is what I have found. Once I approach people and say, I think you might benefit from a conversation with me about your current estate plan, some people challenge me and say, why would I talk to you? And the answer is because you might learn something you weren't aware of. And you can see how those 2 sentences, if you use them correctly and use them in the right process, can lead you to huge back-end sales and all future sales that might ever occur. So I'm going to just ask you a question again. What happens when you add estate planning to your product and services portfolio? Good question. Well, estate planning services, once considered an optional value added, again, it's a repeat, but they're swiftly becoming an asset in the choice of an advisor. And I have a lot of people do business with me because I just simply said that one sentence. I think you might benefit from a conversation with me about your current estate plan. The expectation of the public expects estate planning to be integrated in your career, either directly or through some kind of collaboration. More than half view estate planning as a non-negotiable service. Remember that 5 out of 10 people are going to expect it from you. So you may as well know how to do it. So despite these high levels of concern, Few have taken proactive steps to minimize taxes through planning with a professional. So the market is still wide open. That market will close in about 3 or 4 years. You may as well be way ahead of the wave. So respondents generally feel willing to embrace online estate planning technology. Now, what I'm going to show you is actually a do-it-yourself software that people can buy and have for the rest of their lives. They'll own it. They'll have their own website, but they still will want a coach. And when they have that relationship change or that asset change or that health change, they won't do it themselves. They will call the coach. And that's who you want to be. You want to be the coach. And it's like creating a trust, will, powers of attorney for finance, healthcare, and advanced care directives. They want to do it. They don't feel confident on how to do it. They think it's going to cost too much. They don't want to take the time. But if you approach them and say, let me guide you through that process, I promise you, mom and dad have a high chance of saying yes. And it works like this. It's usually if you approach 10 people, 7 people are going to say yes, and 3 of them are going to buy, and 1 or 2, maybe 1, if you're new at it, maybe 2 or 3, if you're not new at it, are going to want to engage you into the funding process. So, there are some caveats. Estate planning becomes more complex, such as choosing the type of trust or navigating tax implications or addressing family dynamics. Respondents are less and less comfortable with an online-only approach. And you have to say, and I say this all the time, I look at them and say, at this point right here, we might need to bring a tax person in. We might need to bring an attorney in for certain wording that you might have. But in most instances, you don't have to do that. You can use the software that's available. But, only 22% were comfortable trusting online-only platforms with planning for tax-efficient wealth transfer strategies unless they had a coach. The advisor needs to recognize these beliefs and know when to pull in additional advisors. So if you need a CPA, pull one in. If you need a real estate consultant, pull one in. If you need an attorney, have one. If you don't have one, I'll introduce you to one. We have attorneys that are available all over the United States. But in most cases, you don't need an attorney. We provide attorney-written software that asks you the questions, and all you have to do is plug in the answers. So let me ask you another question. What if you choose not to add estate planning to your product and service portfolio? And I get it all the time. People say, oh, remove me from your list, or I don't think I want to do that. And I go, okay. Most Americans simply feel more comfortable working with a person, and a majority feel that they would be more likely to consider an online estate planning platform like that provided by my company, Family Estate Docs, if it offered personalized support from a live advisor. And if you're engaged in the process, you don't need to charge them for that advice. You charge them for the software, and you charge them for the web page, and then you give your advice for free, and all of a sudden you start writing products that give you $5, $6, $8, $10, $15, $25,000 commissions. And you lose that if you don't choose to add estate planning to your product and service portfolios. Most of you lose it. Some people are natural salespeople and don't have to worry about it. But if you're not making those kind of sales right now, I can show you how to do it. Because it's a coach that people want. See grandma there playing with her grandchild? If she's a widow, she wants somebody to guide her through this process. Also, she doesn't want to pay five number fee. So clients increasingly view estate planning as a core element of holistic wealth management. And again, I said it earlier, it's not just a one-time task. It's a continuous task, because it starts out with mom and dad, and then one day there's just dad. Or one day there's just mom. And one day there's no dad and a mom who might have dementia. Or, and the children are going to say, well, we need to decide what to do. It looks like this person right here did the estate plan. Why don't we contact them? And they're going to hope that you did it right. They're going to expect you to have done it right. So what I do is I teach you how to find your suspects. I teach you how to convert your suspects to prospects. I teach you what to say to them to turn those prospects into clients. And and those people prefer for advisory services that integrate estate planning into broader financial strategies with concerns around taxes and complicated, often conflicting feelings about legacy driving personalized and comprehensive estate strategies. And again, one of the conversations I had yesterday was mom and dad wanted to be sure that they took care of their uh, disabled uh, mongoloid child, and that the rest of the children could have the rest of the estate, because usually a mongoloid child doesn't live to be past 35, 45 years old. And but they want to know that if they passed away before that child did, that that child was protected and taken care of. And then if that child passed away, the kids would split the rest of the estate. But they felt an obligation to that child. And see, if someone's just trying to sell you an investment, they might not even know there's a mongoloid child. They might not even know that there's a disabled child at all. But you'll know, and they'll know, and they'll understand why you're making the recommendations you make. So, so let me just ask you a question. Who is this guy? You don't know me from Adam. You can look me up on the internet under randallbaxter.com and see who I am and what I do. But why is family estate doc superior? Why am I telling you what I teach is superior? Well, be honest with you, it's because of the training provided. I've been a trainer in the insurance industry for over 40 years. And I teach you how to sell estate planning. You can go out and buy the software. I had somebody the other day tell me, hey, I got the software already. What do I need you for? And my answer was, because I'll teach you how to sell it. We teach you how to make the back end funding sale. And so many people, if you're just out selling estate plans and not doing the funding process, man, you're missing the boat. So it can even introduce you to the consultants and products used by financial advisors who work in the estate planning industry. We'll train you. You don't have to use our consultants. If you already have the ones you have, I'll still train you and I'll still coach you. I'm a firm believer that you have to be trained before you're coached. So, but I also will teach you my marketing process called the Cycle of Success. And I'm saying mine instead of our, because I'm here talking to you and I wrote it and it works. I use it. I live it every day. You get a proven system with a successful coach. It's easy to use and easy to implement. And that's what makes it a no-brainer. If you're sitting there going, if you're not happy with your income in the financial services industry, why would you go learn from somebody who was not happy with their income in the financial services in the financial services business? It's a no-brainer to pick a trainer and a coach that does what he teaches and nothing else. So what is potential income if you add estate planning to your product and service portfolio? Some people don't have the expectations of themselves, but if I can't teach you to make an extra $20,000 a month in 60 to 90 days, then there's something you're not doing about in the program. And I can usually identify it and tell you what you need to do, hoping it won't hurt your feelings, but I will tell you exactly what it is you might not be doing to have an income like that. But if you can't see yourself making an income like that, you're probably not the right person anyway. But um, I think it's safe to say that you can increase your income by $250,000 per year. That's what I did. And if you follow our family tree asset positioning, go to first interview with the agenda and with the data collection form and the verbatim sales approach and the power phrases that you need to make it work, and apply that to our cycle of success, which we will coach you how to do, and we'll stick with you. And like I said, I'll teach you to make the first sale, the next sale, and I'll teach you how to build your tempo. And after I can see what your tempo is, I'll help you build momentum. So if you're using our software platform. So people say, well, what's that cost? Well, to be honest with you, I make a little money every time you make a sale, so I don't have to have a big upfront cost. All I have to have is somebody who's willing to change their lives and willing to follow a successful program. So it only costs $495 a year to have the license, and you get me for free. You get the training for free. You get the coaching for free. And I'm a firm believer, like I said earlier, I have to get you trained before I can coach you. Now, some of you are already trained. You already have a basic knowledge of what's going on, and I can get you in the coaching program very easy. Some of you need to learn the estate planning vocabulary, and you need to learn the estate planning process, and I'll teach you how to do that. So again, everything that I'm telling you, it's really a no-brainer. If you don't have estate planning added already to your product and service portfolio, work with asset positioning services. I will teach you how to sell estate planning to your suspects, prospects, and current clients. Do you think they would benefit from a conversation with you about their estate plan? I think they would. Do you think they might learn something in which they were not aware? Always. And again, the American people don't even know that that's what they want until they see it, and they see that you're the person that's going to guide them through this problem, to have a conversation with a spouse that they don't know how to have. So inside that $495, you get all the training and the coaching to get you productive in a short period of time. And when I say a short period of time, if you signed up in December, you ought to be getting income in January and be full steam by February. I'm not going to promise you overnight. I'm going to promise you if you'll do what I say over a 30 to 60 day period, you'll see the tempo, and then we'll build your momentum together. I'll show you how to build your momentum, and that's important. But momentum doesn't happen until we learn the basics. So here's what you get. If you can pay the monthly fee, which is $49.95, but it costs you $100 more a year to pay the monthly fee. If you pay the annual fee of $495, you get a little bit more than if you join the monthly program, because you're willing to fully invest yourself. But and $495, folks, that's nothing. You get our 30-day email training course that takes about 15 minutes per day to complete. If you just want to gradually stick your toe in, then your foot, then your ankle, then your leg, and then your knees. What's that song? Them bones, them bones. You get the 30-day email training course. And if you can invest 15 minutes a day, in 30 days, you'll be trained. We provide individual training that we call Each One, Reach One, Teach One, because licensees come to us with different levels of skills and different timelines. Over the years, we have developed training classes for each of these skill levels. These classes include software skills, how to identify suspects, how to convert those suspects to prospects. We even teach you the go-to first interview. Then we teach you the back end and funding interview process. So plus you get access to our consultants. And I have the best consultants, I think, in America, but if you don't want them or don't want to use them, you can use your own. I'm okay with that. Yeah, but if you choose, I'll introduce you to the consultants if you choose, for the products that work best in funding the estate plans you sell. You don't need to do the research. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of you are using consultants that don't know anything about estate planning. You just deal with them because you like them. I hope they're helping you make money. So, not only will I teach you the sales presentation, I'll teach you the marketing. So if you use what I call the cycle of success, and I didn't create the cycle of success, I just applied it to estate planning. But if you use it correctly under our training and our coaching, if you do the things we tell you to do each day, we can get you an additional $20,000 in revenue each and every month within 60 to 90 days. And that's not like in that movie where that guy says, I can eat 50 eggs in 30 minutes. This is you can do it. And if you use my cycle of success, I'll show you how. So if you broke it down into a pie, these are the things that we offer. And these are the things you get for free after you pay your annual license fee. And Lisa, if you go ahead and post it up there on the chat room where they can get the link if they want to become a licensee.
The link is in the chat, Randall.
All right, good. You get incentive bonuses. You get resources. I have taught probably 70 or 80 classes on estate planning and the marketing estate planning and the sales process and the back end funding on my website, randallbaxter.com. And you can go in there and watch every class I've ever taught. And you also get marketing support. And we do marketing support in so many different ways. One, I'll teach you how to do the no cost, the zero expense marketing program, and I'll take you all the way up to the advanced marketing of workshops that you have to invest a little bit of money in. But I would know when you were ready to do that. And it's a whole lot easier to sell one to many up front than it is to sell one on one, because if you use the one to many concept, the people that need it the most are going to come up at the end of the workshop and say, when can we talk? Plus, you get the mentorship. I don't mind telling you. I've already told you what I do is superior to what other people teach. It's easy to implement and easy to learn. And this is what makes it a no-brainer. Come and take the knowledge that I have and apply it to your business and see if your income doesn't go up. So you get my FTAP, Family Tree Asset Positioning, and that's the sales presentation. And when I say the go-to first interview, I will teach you what to say, but you'll get the training website at randallbaxter.com. That includes a video library of all my trainings by topic to review at your convenience. I tell people, grab a cup of coffee on Saturday morning, watch a couple of them. There's one in there that I like the most. My favorite one is called Let Me Teach You to Hunt. And if you have a prospecting problem or a lack of appointments, let me teach you how to hunt. If I teach you how to hunt, you'll have more appointments. You know what to do with. So you get the training and the coaching. It's included in the $495. Because remember, I get paid based on your success. Plus, you get trained and coached through the whole process. And if I look down at your reports after 90 days and see that you've gone down in sales, I'm going to probably call you and say, hey, let's talk about what we might not be doing right. And I can probably figure that out in about 5 or 10 minutes if you want to know, but you probably already know. So you get the mentorship, you get a mentor to guide you through the process. You get marketing support. We also have workshop PowerPoints that already are done for you, and workshop Zoom calls for one-on-one and one-to-many. You're given the details on how to set up a workshop of your own. We offer an email marketing lead generation program for $100 a month. We give you incentives. We have the incentive program for sales made by trainees where you are rewarded. And, look at this picture. These are 6 senior adults, and they're so busy having a good time, retired, and having a good time, that the majority of Americans who are in this situation during retirement, they get busy and they just don't get around to it. And I'll be honest with you, I think I made maybe $40,000 or $50,000 that I think will be paid in December because I handed people these little bitty wooden round tuits. And I'll look at them and go, a lot of times there are witnesses in our process to set up a trust. So the witnesses show up and they see what's going on and they make a remark. Hey, I need to do that. And that's where I reach in my pocket and hand them a round tuit. I think my round tuits maybe grossed about, I'm going to guess, say $35,000 to $45,000 last month. So let me ask you a question. Are you already equipped with the knowledge and process you need to service this huge coming wave? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Most people are not. Why not learn from one of the best? And I don't mind telling you, I probably am, and I'll show you what I know, and I'll show you what I do. So if you want to become a family estate docs licensee today, or you just want to talk about it, then let's get started. And I know there should be apostrophe right there between that T and that S. I'll fix that next week. But if you want to be a licensee, click on that link and just talk to us. If you want us to send you a free sample or a free trial of what we do, just ask us on the email. You can send me an email at randallbaxter.com, randallbaxter@randallbaxter.com. What, Lisa?
The free trial links in the chat as well.
Okay, so you can click on that free trial link, and I'll send it to you, and then we'll make an appointment. I'll show you how the software works. Yeah, don't charge for that. And if you don't want to do it after you see how the software works, that's okay, but you might be missing a pretty big opportunity.